What are you up to? How's life?
Life is great.
You're
Life
busy.
Is great. I'm very busy. Juggling 3 companies and just staying busy, but also a good busy because I'm sure we talked about it last night, but the commissioner's ambassador stuff. So I'm all over the place.
What are you telling them?
What are they telling me? Is the question.
What are they telling you, and what do you want?
I think the changes of the game have been great coming in. It's good because the commissioner ambassador stuff. Rob kind of bounces stuff off of us, which is awesome, and we can kind of give our input, and I think it's taken well.
Have you seen? I was going to say, did you talk to him about the comments he made the other day?
I haven't.
Did
talked
he bounce
to him.
those off you first before he said those?
He didn't bounce any. He didn't bounce any of that off me.
I mean, you saw him. Clearly, you saw what he said. But
yes.
he kind of just said, "Hey, the players should not listen to the union; they should listen to me."
Rob. I know. I get that. Rob's a smart guy, and Rob, he's confident. So
yeah.
I mean, if that's what he says, that's what he means.
The stuff that you've talked to him about, like we were talking about last night, how you he's a good listener, like he actually listens.
Right.
What do you feel like is the biggest change that he brought something up and you're like, don't do that, in a sense of or something moving forward that you feel like he can institute based on the fact that he has players, he has guys, other ambassadors in his pocket that he can help.
Well, the thing about it is if you look at it, it's not just one thing. Like the fact that he has a good group of guys that can actually know the game well, that have been in the trenches, and he can bounce stuff off of, good, bad, or ugly. But we can have a conversation about it, and there's no ulterior motive.
Do you think that group that needs to be around him needs to have a good dissection of representation of ex-players in the sense of everybody, 100 million, and then there's only 10% of dudes ever make that kind of money in the game. Do you think he needs to be able to listen to dudes that are a year and a half, 3 years in the big leagues, 5 years, guys that are getting minor league deals?
Absolutely. But at the same time, the guys that we do have on cap, they're actually respected by the younger guys. So it's up to us to go and actually bounce that off of them. Because if Rob were to come in and talk to him, then it's something they're never going to say anything. It's like when the GM comes in, you're just like, right? But if a veteran player comes and speaks to you, you're going to give your opinions. You're going to talk to him about it. And we also, it's not one of those things where we're going to go tell them exactly what they said. We're going to dumb it down or make it, we have tact. So we're going to go and do that and say what needs to be said and what changes would help the game. And Rob, take it from there.
My question as a former player, what side are you on? Because you work for the commissioner, and then so Rob's giving you his side.
Right.
But then Tony and the union
We're on
has
baseball
a different side.
We're on baseball side.
I understand that, but
Right.
but there's two sides to it, and it's like the sides
I don't think you have to pick a side, though.
You don't, but the sides keep getting farther and farther apart. It seems like
They do, and it's up to us to keep bringing them back. Let's help bring them back because we have, like you said.
So why not work
we're
for
on both sides.
not work for the union and try to get the other side to come to you?
We are. Us going to talk to players is working with the union, right? Like we're still part of the union.
You just said though, you're selling the commissioner side to the players. That's your job.
I'm not. I didn't ever said that.
I
never said I'm selling them. I said we're going to get so we're forming basically our own opinions on what is going on and giving honest feedback to Rob about the player side, about even the management side. He comes to us and we're like, hey, that's probably not going to work.
Can we do it? Can we get where it's closer? Because look at the leagues that they're closer. Players
100%.
NBA, for sure.
For sure.
They're way closer.
Yeah, but you know what? It takes, like you said, it's in everything. It takes two sides, right? It takes two sides. It takes, whether that's the owners, whether that's Rob, whether that's the players, to come up with something that brings us closer, right? And we're always polarized on each side. It's like equated to politics. It's like, you're far left and we're far right. And it's just like, there would be perfect if we could find good things from both sides and let it go in a perfect world.
How often do you talk to how often does your group talk to Tony Clark's group?
their group or players? Because we talk to players,
Well,
a lot.
is different because you go in the clubhouses and you talk to
But
players.
that's part of that. I mean, the player side of things, and not like the players association side of things, like not the business side of things, but the players are going to give you the honest feedback, right? With no ulterior motive. And I get that. Like, even I've been on both sides. I've been a rep, and to see that. But at the end of the day, like, you got a CC Sabathia, you got a Chris Young, you got Jimmy Rollins. Like, these guys can go in and talk to the young guys, and they respect the young guys enough to ask them their opinion. And we are the vehicle that could go tell, but not a sense in like, oh, I'm gonna go tell everything that happened. I'm gonna go tell them what the guys want, and let's figure out if we can mesh this all together.
What do they want?
I mean,
What did
varies.
you want, and what did you want?
It varies. I mean, it could go from travel to draft to, I mean, we talk about everything. I mean, to little league, like perfect game, like youth baseball. Like it's not just, it's all encompassing. It's not just one thing. Like we're hammering one thing. It's just like, what do guys want?
But then you tell the players what the commissioner wants?
Absolutely. We'll see if, like, hey, would that work? You think, like, would you like that? If yes is no, and then it's not up to us to be.
Sorry, when you finish, I have another. I'll follow. Go ahead.
No, but it's not up to us to go to them and be like, hey, you know what? These guys want this. Like, make it happen. Like, it's about like, hey, Rob? What do you think about this? It's a conversation. It's not a demand.
Do you ever think, like, because you were a player rep and now you're working for the commissioner, you kind of switch sides? I don't know, because I wasn't a rep. Because I would have been a bad rep. I would have just started screaming.
Right. We don't
do some negotiations, and I would have just started screaming like, you're an idiot.
We don't look at it like that. We look at it as we're trying to help the game. Like, and I think all of us, the pedigree we have in the CAT program, like, we understand that there is two sides. We understand that this is a business. And we're not trying to get into mostly the business aspect of it. We're trying to get into making the game better for everybody.
Kratz, I am actually in the market for a new car. Yes.
Wow, that's
a
big.
used car up north, so I can drive very far to Todd Fowler's studio.
And to my house.
And to your house
and
on
you
occasion.
Want confidence, right? You don't want to be confused.
Yes.
Because I'm
transparency,
yes.
Which is big on our show.
And just the confidence part is what I stick with, because it's like, I got to check another site. I got to check this site or that site. It's all in one place. I know I got the best deal for what I'm getting.
Take the guesswork out. It's called Car Gurus, cargurus.com to be exact. You can buy or sell your next car today at cargurus.com. Make sure that your big deal is the best deal, and also they'll connect you with trusted dealerships when you're ready to go, ensuring a keyword here, transparent and hassle-free buying process. They are super popular. Go give them a look. cargurus.com, cargurus.com. Why is the MLB Draft Sunday night in the midst of All-Star Week getting totally overblown by everything else going on during that time period when it should be in Omaha? And at one point, when I worked at the league, they were right there. And then I think COVID messed it up. Yes, COVID messed it up. They had a deal. I'm like, can you call them again? Because that would be sick.
Honestly, I don't have the answer to that.
But tell them.
Yeah, well, I'll ask him.
But what do you think? Like, I don't know how locked in you are on the draft. Doesn't matter about the players. Do you think that our draft should be bigger and in a spot where everyone's looking at the top college players already?
Yeah, but I mean, you look at all that and it's timing, right? Because you got guys now like College World Series. They want to do the draft combine. They want to do all this stuff. So I remember when I graduated, I got drafted. It was June 7th, right? And now we're a whole month after that. But I think with media and you got guys like you can now go in and see on the technology that we have. Like, so I think there's more going into the game and analytics wise that they had to move it back, and it's so close to the season. Like, this is the place where kind of everybody can go and really bring their guys to draft.
What's the one thing that you're like, we got to be able to do this to sell the game, make the whole game get better as a marketing thing? I
think our players we need to be, you see the NBA stuff all over, like media wise, like, And I mean, you got guys like Mookie Betts, Aaron Judge. I mean, Shohei's all over the place, but even Trouty, like having him like to be the face of the game, like we need to push that more so we're more visible.
Yeah, we don't hear from them often, aside from like the 2-minute post game and the
right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Mookie is in another category. He's all over.
Exactly.
He's super out there. He's doing interviews. He's hosting shows. The other guys, I feel like you never hear from them.
Yeah, and it's tough because I mean, even when I was playing, it's like you're on Instagram, you're on your whatever avenue you use, and it's kind of gotten like you get looked down upon. Like if you're not playing well, like why are you on? You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of that. Like, and I think like other sports, they don't really care. Like the owners and all that, they don't care. And I think we need to be more open to, opening our lives up for everybody, so people can get to know us.
But my thing is I don't think MLB does a good job. They've gotten better, but they don't do a good job of encouraging guys to do that. And you're on the commissioner's players side.
Well, that's another side of things.
Right? Like, But there needs to be people out there telling players from both sides, hey, you need to do more interviews. I do national games every Saturday. I walk into the clubhouse. Right. There's not one player in the clubhouse. And they're like, you get 20 minutes to talk to players, and you stand there, and there might be one guy in there. There needs to be a 5-minute window where you have to be in your locker. Other sports do it. Football does it.
Right.
5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes a day. And if I get 5 minutes, and you know what? If I can only talk to Dexter Fowler and I miss Eric Kratz because that 5 minutes is up, then I have to wait till tomorrow. But instead, like we did a thing.
I don't hate that.
We did a thing in spring training. And listen, I know players are going to complain about that, but it's fine. 5 minutes. You got to answer questions for 5 minutes the whole day. It's not a big deal. Now, if you're the starting pitcher, you get a pass, right? Because you're pitching that day. But like we go into places in spring training. I go into places here.
Okay.
And there's reporters that are trying to get to talk to players, and they only get a little bit of time. And the player never's in there. And there was one, I'm not going to use who it was, but there was a national reporter trying to talk to a certain player, and the team's like, yeah, we're not going to help you. We're not going to help you talk to him. This is a star player. No, we're not going to help you talk to this person. Why not? He doesn't really want to do the interview. Okay, but we're trying to promote the game. We're trying to help the player. We're trying to make more people fans. But then at the same time, the teams
100%.
And the way it's set up doesn't help promote anybody because all you got to do is go hide in the training room for that 30 minutes when the reporter's there. And you never have to talk to him. And then after the game, you leave early or you don't come out and talk.
But that's a conversation that should be had, right? Like, this is honest feedback, and there's a conversation that could be had. And we could do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not out the, it's nothing crazy.
I mean, I get some people don't like to talk, but it's also kind of part of your job.
You seem like you use that move, by the way.
Oh, I was always there. I always talk. Trust me. I talk too much.
No, he knew that. I was in the training room. The training room move. Yeah, I know.
First of all, I was never in the training room. Second of all, I always talk. So.
But you saw people always using the training room.
You see that all the time. Or they leave.
Yeah, the game's over. They have a bad game, they leave.
Exactly.
Or they stay in the training room or in the food room until the reporters have to be out. Like sometimes they make dudes wait for like over an hour, and the PR guy's like, hey, and he's like, no, I'm not talking. And then, the reporters are pissed, and they write a bad story.
No, at the end of the day, like, I do feel like there should be that aspect of it, right? And because, like I said, I was a big proponent of, I had a bad game, good game, I'm waiting around. Like, and then I'm leaving. Hey, you guys got anything? Out. But to mandate that, I mean, it's a conversation that could be had, for sure. And that's what we were talking about last night. I mean, it's conversations. Like, just let's sit down and have a conversation. Let's sit down across from each other, have a conversation. Not a negotiation, conversation.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.